Hello and welcome to another UCL Fantasy video. Today we're looking at the best budget picks for our starter teams. Really looking at the more of the players that are under £6 million. This is kind of just players at the lower end of the scale, kind of the least priced players in the game. We're really just to find ones that are playing, getting possible attack and returns, but mainly just to get those extra points so that we can enable the bigger, more expensive players up front and midfield. So let's jump straight into the goalkeepers. So what we're going to have is 4 different players from each position under the 6 million mark, and we're obviously starting off with the goalkeepers. Now the goalkeepers is probably the place where you want to be saving your budget, because you really get 2 chances at a clean sheet. And you want to kind of split them between the match days, that way you do get the 2 chances at the clean sheet. Unfortunately, with the way the cheap goalkeepers are, 3 of them here all play on the same day, and actually 3 of them are all in the same group as well. So we're starting off with Suarez. Now Vlachodimos is still in the game, and he was down as the expensive Benfica goalkeeper. And Suarez is down at 4 million, the cheapest you can get in the game, and he has started basically the 3 games since Vlachodimos has left. So you'll see he has played 3 out of 5. The first 2 games of the season were played by Vlachodimos, and now Suarez has taken over. They did sign another goalkeeper as well. So we'll probably have to wait and see this weekend to see who plays in goals for Benfica. But chances are it should be Suarez playing at least the first game. And again against Salzburg, you would maybe hope for a clean sheet there as well. They have kept 2 of 3 clean sheets in the games that Suarez has played, so he definitely could be a very good option. We're then looking at Blaswich, who is the only player who plays on the first day. Played 4 out of 4 with Goulashi being out injured. Now he is due back in October at some point, so he really is going to be someone you're going to have for match day 1 and match day 1 only. You're probably not going to want him for the game against Man City and match day 2 anyways, but by that point Goulashi should be back. So for someone like me who will be wildcarding in match day 2, he's perfect because I can get him for match day 1 and then switch him out in match day 2. But again, 2 out of 4 clean sheets, and he looks fairly nailed on for the first match day. Next up is Jan Sommer from Inter, guaranteed to be their number 1 throughout the season. Already started all 3 games and kept 3 clean sheets as well. Inter are yet to concede a goal this season. Saves 1.5 per game, so he's really not getting too involved, which means the defence is looking very, very solid. And the games for Inter look fairly decent as well. Real Sociedad, Benfica, Salzburg as well. So if you're not looking to use a wild card in the early stages, he could definitely be a good option. Again, he plays on the same day as Suarez, so you are paying an extra 0.5 million, but I feel like that is a 0.5 that's going to be worth it, because Inter have the better games than Benfica and look better defensively. So I think if you've got some spare budget there, I definitely would look to get Sommer in instead of Suarez. And then we've got Ramiro as well, who also plays on the same day, who is also 4 million. Again, Sociedad's starting goalkeeper, 4 out of 4 games. Only 1 clean sheet played out of the 4 games. A few more saves than the rest of the goalkeepers as well. I think Ramiro and Suarez do kind of go on the same level. It just depends who you would prefer there. Obviously, Benfica has the better start than Sociedad, meaning that Suarez will probably be the better option. But I think as a general whole, Sommer will be the better pick for that day. Next up, we are looking at the defenders, another position where you are going to want a couple of cheap players again to enable the more expensive midfielders and attackers. Starting us off, we have Darmian, who's kind of playing as like the right centre-back role for Inter this season. Again, looks fairly nailed on. They have just signed Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich, but I think he probably will challenge Darmian a little bit for his position, maybe looking to challenge Dumfries as well, but I think Darmian looks fairly nailed in there for the centre back. He has done nothing wrong for Inter at the start of this season and all of last season, and then again that defence is still yet to concede a goal, so he looks fairly fairly nailed on, and looks like a very good way to get into defence. Again, fixtures look very nice. Looking at the next two players is Henrichs and Rom, both from Leipzig, one playing left back, one playing right back. Both of them looking very attacking. You can see with Henrichs in 4 games so far he has a goal and 2 assists. Rom as well, 4 games and only has the 2 assists, but they look very on par with each other. And again, they have young boys in the first game, so if you're looking to maybe limitless or wildcard in match day 2, I think both of them could easily be a very, very good option. We obviously have Danny Elmo in midfield, who's looking like he'll be injured for the first game, so if you're looking to replace him for another Leipzig player, I think one of these guys could be fantastic. And I see nothing wrong with going for both of them, because young boys away, Red Star in the group as well. Looks very possible for clean sheets and attack and returns as well. Ball recoveries, both of them looking at an average of 5 per game. Looks like you can get some points there as well. The final pick, Fran Garcia from Real Madrid. Now, I was kind of iffy about him when I seen his price at 4.5. I thought that surely we're not getting a Real Madrid starting left back for that cheap. But he has started all 3 of these games. Obviously, Ferland Mendy is still playing for Real Madrid and could get some minutes. But by the looks of things at the start of the season, it's been all Garcia. 2 clean sheets, no attacking returns from him yet, but a massive 8 ball recoveries per game as well, so he could be very, very big in a very nice way into the Real defence. Again, very nice fixtures, excluding the Napoli games in match day 2 and 5. But if you're looking at Real Madrid clean sheets and ball recovery points from him at 4.5 million, he could be fantastic. Next up, we have the midfielders. Now, most people are going to really be just looking at one of these guys. So we've got 4 picks here. We've got Quinton Timber, who is Urian Timber's brother, and he plays for Feyenoord. He has 4 starts in 5 games, and he has a goal and assist as well. 4.5 ball recoveries per game, which is fairly decent as well. But again, for these kind of players at that price in midfield, you're just looking for someone who is going to play and possibly pick up a couple bonus and maybe the odd return. So you're looking at Timber, again, four games, and he's got a goal and assist from that, so he definitely could be a decent option. The games for him are okay. He's got Celtic, Atletico Madrid and Lazio, and he definitely could get a couple of returns in those games. We've also got Zubimendi at 5 million as well. Now he's guaranteed for minutes. I think he's played every single minute of every single game for Sociedad so far. 1 goal, 0 assists, and he has kind of more of the central centre mid role. And a clean sheet as well. There, obviously, in UCL Fantasy, you get an extra point for clean sheets. Again, the games look fairly decent for Sociedad, especially as someone who you're going to be wanting ball recoveries from, and you can see there he has 7.8 ball recoveries per game, which again, for someone who's 5 million, you're just wanting them to come in, play, and possibly pick up some extra points in there, and that's exactly what Zubimendi will be able to do. Next up, we have a more risky pick. We have Yang Hyun-jin, 4.5 million, the cheapest midfielder you can get in the game. Now he only has 1 out of 5 starts, and you can see the stats don't really cater towards him too well. Only 1 assist in those 5 games for Celtic, but Lila Bada has just picked up an injury on the right wing, and he has shown promise for Celtic and looks like he could be taking that spot. So he could be a 4.5 million starter for Celtic, playing as a right winger as well, and could easily get some goals and assist as well. So it is more of a risky pick. You're probably going to have to look out for the Celtic lineup over the weekend to make sure that he does start. But I would imagine that he will be the guy replacing Abada in right wing. And for someone at 4.5 million, possibly getting attacking returns while playing in an attacking role, definitely looks like a good option. But as I say, it is definitely a risky one. So make sure you check that lineup over the weekend. The final pick, we have Orsnes from Benfica. He is 5 million again, 5 out of 5 starts. I think he played the first 2 games as more of an attacking midfielder, left winger kind of role. In the past 3 games, he's played left back for Benfica. He's also got a goal and assist in there, as well as 3 clean sheets, and again 3.8 ball recoveries per game. So I think he's probably the one I like the least out of the 4, but again, definitely an option. You see, everyone saw how Grimaldo played as the Benfica left back last season, so hopefully Orsnes will be able to fill those boots and possibly live up to Grimaldo's legacy as a UCL fantasy legend. Finally, we're finishing things off with the strikers, probably the least popular position to pick a cheap player, because most of us are going to be wanting 3 big premium strikers, but just in case, there is a couple of good options here. Starting off with Fofana, I think is probably the worst option so far. It was basically just to cover someone for the 4th spot. 4 out of 4 starts, but is yet to score or get an assist. Obviously, this is the guy on loan from Chelsea at Union Berlin. Again, he is really just a playing striker. Maybe a goal or assist could come, but the fixtures are fairly difficult for him. I do think the three other options are a lot better. Second, we have Kubo, definitely the best option you can get at the striker spot. 5 million, again the cheapest striker, or the cheapest price for a striker this year. 4 out of 4 starts, he is playing at right wing, and he has 3 goals and an assist so far this season, so he does look very, very good. 4.8 ball recoveries as well, and again, the fixtures are there for Sociedad to score a few goals. So I think if you are looking for a budget striker, Kubo is probably the best option you can get. Again, he is literally the cheapest you can get in that position. Third, we have Konate from RB Salzburg, 5.5 million, a little bit more expensive. 6 starts out of 6 games, he has 4 goals and an assist. And looks like he could do some damage in the Champions League. I think he is a bit of a young player as well, so he will be looking to make his mark. I think again, with 4 goals in 6 games, he definitely could do that. Finally, we have Musa, 6 million. Again, we have 3 players from the same group. We have Kubo, Musa and Konate, but Musa has 2 out of 5 starts. Now, he did get a red card in 1 game, so ended up missing a game as well, and I think he has come off the bench in a couple of games, but again, he does have 2 goals, only 1.7 ball recoveries. Again, we're looking at strikers here. The ball recovery points aren't massive, but the fixtures are fairly decent as well for Benfica. That group is very open, so it really doesn't matter which player you really pick from there. But yeah, I think Musa definitely has some promise. Hopefully he's not going to get too many red cards, because that would be very bad for us, but I think again, you're really just looking for players that are going to play when looking at that striker position, and I think Musa definitely could do that, and if he doesn't, he definitely has the potential to come off the bench and score. But again, looking at those 4, the best option there is probably Kubo, and he's also the cheapest option as well, so I think if you're looking for a cheap striker, Kubo is that guy. And that wraps up the budget picks video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully there's a couple players in there that you're going to look to get in your team. If you did enjoy and it did help you in any way, make sure to leave a like. And again, there will be lots more UCL fantasy content coming over the course of the season, so make sure to subscribe for that. Make sure to turn notifications on as well, so you know exactly when I upload. And as I said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.